Alright, you're welcome back again to my channel, and today we are going to be looking at Goodwill Account. We'll be looking at how to calculate Goodwill valuation and how to calculate Goodwill in general. But before we go into our class, what do I normally say? Subscribe to my channel, like my videos, turn on the notification bell to more live updates. Don't forget to subscribe, it's very important, it helps me to grow my channel. And you can also as well refer our channel to other persons that are in need of this knowledge in order for them to acquire the knowledge so they can also subscribe as well. So when we talk about goodwill, first of all, goodwill has to do with a person's reputation, has to do with a person's sellout value, the value attached to an organization or a business. So when we say goodwill in terms of accounting terms, it refers to the excess value of a business or asset over its net asset valuation. Now, excess value of a business over its net asset valuation. Now, what does that actually mean? It means that in terms of a business, when you want to acquire a business, or say I want to acquire Coca-Cola company. Now, if the total asset of Coca-Cola company is valued at $1 billion, that is the total asset value of total Coca-Cola company. Now, if I want to acquire the Coca-Cola company, I won't just pay $1 billion. There are certain factors that I have to look into. What is their goodwill? That is, what is the reputation they have in terms of the market, in terms of the brand recognition? How well is Coca-Cola well known all over the world? What is the customer recognition? That is the ability of customers to patronize this particular product irrespective of change of ownership, irrespective of change of managers. So if the company has a brand name, a brand that is recognized all over the world, then you say that that company has goodwill. So the goodwill will then be how much are we able to purchase that particular company over what? Over its net asset value. Now, let me give us a simple illustration. Say Mr. A acquires company B for say 100,000 naira. If it Now, just a simple illustration. It says Mr. A acquires company B for 100,000 naira. If its net asset value is 70,000 naira, calculate the goodwill of company A. Do you know what the net asset value is? That is the actual value of the asset of that organization. That is the total organization. When we put the assets together, how much is it valued? That is the land and furniture, the premises, the equipment, machinery, everything that are in that particular business or organization is valued at what? Is valued at 70,000 naira. But Mr. A, instead of paying the actual value of the company for 70,000 naira, he was able to purchase the company for 100,000 naira. Now, how do we calculate the goodwill here? It's simple. We can just say purchase price minus net asset value. Now, remember our asset value has to do with asset minus liabilities, which has already been calculated, and the value of that business is 70,000 naira. Now, our purchase price is what? Is 100,000. minus our net asset value, which is what, 70,000, and this will give me what, a total of 30,000 naira. So this means that the goodwill that the company has, is valued at the rate of 30,000 naira. Remember that goodwill is not a tangible asset. It is not an asset that you can touch. It is an asset that you cannot touch, but you just feel. So you cannot easily quantify it in terms of general assets. So you can actually quantify it based on the value of that organization. So we quantify it based on the value of the organization because it's not a fixed asset. If it's a fixed asset like this calculator, I can actually just say, okay, the value of this calculator is 30,000 naira, and I get paid 30,000 naira for the actual value of this calculator. But it is not a tangible asset, meaning that we cannot touch it, we cannot hold it, and because we cannot touch it, we cannot hold it, it is very difficult for we to quantify. Now, how do you value it? How do you evaluate it? You just evaluate it by the amount that the buyer is ready to pay for that particular organization. Based on what? Based on the reputation of the organization, based on the brand recognition of the product of that organization, and based on the purchasing power of the customers, their willingness to patronize the business or the service or product of that particular organization, irrespective of change of ownership. That was why I used Coca-Cola as an example in the first place, because Coca-Cola is a well-known world brand, and even when there's a change of ownership, there's still brand recognition. You can just go out, you see Coca-Cola everywhere, and customers buy this product without even having ideal knowledge of the actual owners of that particular company. So it is a brand that is well accepted all over the world, that is recognized all over the world, and it has a reputation because you know that the taste is unrivaled. It has its own unique taste, and to a certain degree, it has what we call monopolization, because there is no other company, juice company, soft drink company that can actually compete with them on the service or the product they are able to deliver to the market. So you can always trust their brand. So you can always trust their brand, you can always trust their products, you can always trust their services. Now, we have different ways where we can value goodwill. Now, in terms of, let me clean it very fast so we can proceed. Now, I believe we have base knowledge on goodwill now. Now, in terms of goodwill valuation, like I said in my explanation, that goodwill is an intangible asset and it is very difficult for you to quantify it in terms of actual value. Now, what we are going to do is we have different ways, different means that we can quantify goodwill. We can use the super profit method, we can use the weighted average method, we can use the capitalization method, we can use arbitrary assessment method. There are a number of different procedures or methods that we can use to value goodwill. So depending on what you are asked to do or what you are asked, the method you are asked to apply in evaluating or valuing a goodwill of a particular company. And remember also that goodwill is recorded under the fixed asset of the purchasing company. Now, under using the super profit method, it said the following profits were made by Misola and Nara for the last 4 years. Now, this is our years, this is our profit. In 2000, they made 108,000. In 2001, they made 100,000 as profit. In 2002, they made 80,000 naira as profit. And in 2003, they made 70,000 naira as profit. Now, there is a caveat to this. It says that they both agreed to value goodwill at 3 years. They both agreed to value goodwill at 3 years purchase of super profits of the last 4 years. The normal profit is 75,000 naira. That is the normal profit that they earn or they obtain in that business is 75,000 naira. Now, the first thing we are to do when calculating the super profits is to find a simple average. Now, what is our simple average? You know, how do you calculate average? The total amount divided by the number of occurrence or number of years, which is x. Now, I have simple average. Now, in my simple average, I'll add all these 108,000 plus 100,000 plus 80,000 plus 70,000. Now, we divide it by what? By the total number of years, which is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we are dividing this by 4. So this will give me 108,000 plus 100,000 plus 80,000 plus 70,000. That will give me a total of 358,000. Now I'm going to divide it by 4. Divide by 4. This will give me 89,500. So this is our what? This is our simple average. Now that we've gotten our simple average, we are going to subtract it by what? By the normal profit. Now we have 89,000 minus our normal profit, which is 75,000. Which will give me what? 89,000 minus 75,000. This will give me 14,500. Now, the next thing we are going to do is to calculate the goodwill. Now, it said they both agreed to value goodwill at 3 years. So, now this is what our profit. Now, our profit will not be super profit, our goodwill, multiplied by 3. So, I have 14,500 multiplied by 3. Now, remember, we've minus our normal profit, which is 75,000. Multiply this by 3. So, this will give me what? It will give me 43,500, which is our what? Super profit that we've gotten. So at the end of the day, our goodwill is valued at what? 43,500 naira. So when they evaluate the business, Misola and Naira have a goodwill to that business at the tune of 43,500. That is how we calculate our super profits. So from here, we are going to be looking also in our next class, we'll be looking at the weighted average profit, we'll be looking at capitalization, and we'll be looking at arbitrary assessment. So like I always say, don't forget to like my videos, subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bar for more live updates, and don't forget also to refer our videos to other persons that are in need of our knowledge in order for them to gain more knowledge. If you have any question, you can drop it on the comment section. Thank you.